Hello, you are watching Daily V News, and let's have a look at the headlines.
Grand ceremony in Hanoi marks the 40th anniversary of Hanoi Dien Bien Vu in the air victory. Prime Minister Witten Tan-zoon talks bilateral ties over the phone with his Japanese counterpart, Shinzo Abe. Roundtable workshop in Hanoi reviews economic challenges to Vietnam in 2013.
A grand ceremony was held in Hanoi on December 29th to mark the 40th anniversary of Hanoi Dien Bien Phu in the air victory. Leaders of the party, state government, National Assembly, and Fatherland Front attended the event.
Delegates at the ceremony said this is an important historic event and symbol of Vietnamese intelligence and revolutionary heroism. It helped the Vietnamese people triumph against the US invasion. In his opening speech, President Sang stressed that Hanoi Dien Bien Vu in the air was one of the historic victories of the 20th century, which continues to write golden pages in the history of the nation's struggle against foreign invaders. The victory helped the Vietnamese army and people liberate the South and reunify the country in the spring of 1975, he said. It also intensified the world revolutionary movement and consolidated trust in victory among progressive forces struggling for peace, national independence, democracy and social advance, he added. According to the President, today, as a peaceful and reunified country, Vietnam is implementing its renewal process and accelerating modernization, industrialization, and international integration to develop a strong and prosperous nation with a democratic and civilized society that is firmly advancing to socialism. Sang stressed that the Vietnamese party, state and people will always be grateful to fraternal socialist countries, international friends and peace and justice lovers across the world, including the US people, that supported and assisted Vietnam during the war. Upholding the nation's tradition of friendship, Vietnam, a reliable partner and responsible member of the international community, wants to strengthen friendship and cooperation with all countries, including the US, for mutual development. Earlier, a delegation of party, state, National Assembly, government and Vietnam Fatherland Front leaders paid a floral tribute to President Ho Chi Minh at his mausoleum on the 40th anniversary of the Hanoi Dien Bien Vu in the air victory.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng has discussed bilateral ties over the phone with Japan's new Prime Minister Shinzo Abe.
In a telephone conversation on December the 28th, Dũng warmly congratulated Shinzo Abe on his newly elected position and spoke highly of his contributions to bilateral ties during his previous post, particularly the creation of a framework for the two countries' strategic partnership. In reply, Abe affirmed that the Japanese government pays much attention to their relations with Vietnam, a reliable strategic partner in the region. The two leaders expressed their delight at new developments in the two countries' relations in all fields over the past years. They agreed on measures to deepen the strategic partnership in the future. Dũng and Abe affirmed the importance of maintaining high-ranking visits and implementing effective multi-level dialogue mechanisms, particularly in politics, security, and defense. The leaders agreed to execute agreements, especially those rich in economics, trade, investment, development cooperation, and ODA. They agreed to work closely together to successfully organize activities to celebrate the 2013 Vietnam-Japan Friendship Year and the 40th anniversary of the diplomatic ties.
The Vietnam-Russia relationship enjoyed a good year in 2012 with numerous activities implementing large-scale agreements. The development of political dialogue between both countries reaffirmed their deep bilateral ties. Let's take a look at the Vietnam-Russia Comprehensive Strategic Partnership results in 2012.
Russia was the first country in Europe that President Chung Tan-sang chose to visit this year. His visit in July enhanced diplomatic ties between the two countries, and the two sides agreed to lift the Vietnam-Russia relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership. It is not only a diplomatic partnership, but a cooperative relationship in economics, trade, investment and education. 2012 was a successful year for the strategic partnership between Vietnam and Russia. The two countries have actively carried out many activities in political dialogue, as well as exchanges in economics, investment and trade. Besides the development of cooperation in nuclear energy, the main focus in the two countries' energy collaboration is the oil and gas sector, with the Vietsoftpetro joint venture, which has been in operation for more than 30 years. In addition, the Russian government has licensed the Vietnam-Russia joint venture Gazpromviet to exploit oil fields in Russia's Yamalo-Nenets autonomous region. I believe that Vietnam-Russia ties will develop in many important areas. We already understand and respect each other's traditions. The growing relationship with Vietnam is still a priority in Russia's foreign policy that will benefit both nations as well as the Asia-Pacific region. The official visits of President Chung Tan-sang and Prime Minister Medvedev to each other's country has created more opportunities for people from both nations to consolidate and develop their friendship, in line with the comprehensive strategic partnership.
A roundtable workshop to review the economic recession and challenges to Vietnam in 2013 was held in Hanoi on December 28. Participants forecast the country will continue to encounter challenges next year. Vietnam registered a moderate growth rate of 5.03% in 2012. Experts at the workshop assessed that the difficulties in the Vietnamese economy will continue into 2013 and impact the year's rate of growth. They predict that GDP will increase by 5.67% in 2013. However, this can only be realized if policies, including tax and fee guidelines, are made to remove business obstacles. In 2013, Vietnam is expected to receive $6.5 billion in LDA from donors. The figure is a sign that donors have trust in Vietnam despite of the global economic downturn. At the same time, it is an important resource that helps the country solve its economic problems and develop in a sustainable manner. Launched by the Saigon Giải Phóng newspaper in 2002, the Frontiers Spring program has brought happiness to tens of thousands of people in border regions. During the last 10 years, the program has made its stamp in various localities, from the mountainous Central Highlands to remote islands.
In its 10 years of operation, Frontier Spring program has built 4 kindergartens to teacher tenements in mountainous localities and provided scholarships for thousands of poor students in boundary areas. Every Lunar New Year or Tet, program volunteers set up to border posts and islands to present gifts to soldiers and poor people in the Central Highlands provinces, border regions, and even in neighboring Laos. Many people take part in the program to bring warmth to people less fortunate. We have met young soldiers who are so pale due to malaria, but they still hold the gun firmly to protect the border during New Year. Silently, they donated their jewels to the country. The soldiers shared the hope that the country will forever remain peaceful, so everyone can enjoy that with their families. It moves us so much to hear that. We want to bring spring to them. Not only presenting gifts, Frontier Spring has helped hundreds of poor patients access free healthcare services. We saw the tears of patients and felt very close to them. Witnessing the people's deprivations, we promised to ourselves to return next year and stay for longer. At the recent ceremony marking the 10th anniversary of its operation, the program was honored with a third-class labor order and a certificate of merit from the Prime Minister for its contribution to society. The Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee also presented certificates of merit to more than 20 groups and individuals involved in the program.
And that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us and see you next time.